Wagwan Generals, welcome back to the NAIC preview video from us here at the Shift Gear podcast. This week, something very interesting happened. Not really interesting, but very generational and inspirational. The Endgame Omegas came out, and let me tell you, those things are fire. They're absolutely fire, and I regret not having a commercial here to input with me trying to like squeeze a beef patty into like a Endgame sleeve or something. But Kieran, what are your initial thoughts on the Endgame Omegas?
No, I love them. I mean, like I'm someone who personally prefers like the matte style of sleeves. So like I'm huge fan of them. I've been using them for a while. I've had like the test version. So I'm excited that they're finally like on shelves, at least in Ontario, and then you can buy them online if you don't live in Ontario. But no, they're really solid. And then the other ones, if you like the like kind of, what's the style called when it's not matte? Just like not matte, like just normal. I don't know.
I don't know. What are they, like? What do you gloss?
I don't know. If you like the other style, buy the other version of the new version we have. So like, yeah.
Genesis, the Genocide.
Genocide. That's right. Like we were talking last week. Like I blanked on what it was called. So yeah, we have Genesis and Omega now. So depending on what type of style you like, we have them both. The colors are super clean too. I mean, I'm a lilac guy, but the blue ones.
Yeah, the lilacs are clean, bro. I have one right down here. Where the hell? Oh, this is red. Anyways, they're all clean. They're sick. And I felt the need to kind of shill out to Endgame there in the beginning of the episode instead of the end, because I feel very strongly about these sleeves, as I've made it quite clear. Anyways, onto regularly scheduled programming. NAIC is in 5 days now. Time is really creeping up. I have been playing a ton, and I mean a ton of Pokemon. I know you have too, Kieran. And we've amassed our list of the decks that we think are going to be the play for the tournament. We haven't talked about this prior. We're kind of going to freelance this, and I think that makes for better conversation. But I have some very strong and maybe controversial opinions about what's going to happen this weekend. I know this format is very different from what we're used to. I feel like it's very open. I don't know if you feel the same way. I feel like there's a lot of very good decks, maybe not one that is crazy over the top, which is really, really weird kind of in Pokemon. It's been a while since we have like 5 or 6 like top tier decks, but we can start breaking those down in whatever order you prefer, Karen.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. So I guess maybe the first question, like, is there a deck that you would put in S tier for this tournament? For me, no.
No.
Yeah. I think last format Guardy like kind of cemented itself as S tier, but I think now with the introduction of Grimmsnarl, I think Guardy's lost its like pure S tier spot on the list.
Yeah, it does feel very, very well balanced. Actually, you know what's hilarious? Like we started this. Normally, we start with some BS at the start of the episode, right? We're on business today, like straight into the Pokemon. Like we are on business because this is 5 days away from the biggest tournament of the year, and so many people's invites are depending on it. I couldn't agree with you more though about Gardevoir. Like I do feel like it has come a step down, and I feel like Dragapult's also come a step down. And I mean, we'll get into the nitty gritty of that in a sec, but it is really weird going into NIC without an S tier deck, or even a thought of an S tier deck. Yeah. Normally, at least we can make a contention, like we can make some sort of case for something. This one, I got nothing.
Yeah, I remember last year we were sitting here being like, "Is Dragapult like broken or whatever?" Because everyone thought it was broken, and then it just ended up not being broken.
It indeed was not broken, and I don't think it's broken right now either.
So, all right, we can start with Gardevoir, Neil. I think it's in the A tier. Like, I still think it's A tier. I just don't think it's S tier anymore.
Yeah, I agree. Do you have what are your thoughts on Gardevoir? Like pure unfiltered, what do you think is the pro? What do you think are the pros? What are the cons? Where do you see this kind of ending up?
I mean, the pros are I think you have like good matchups into almost like every single meta deck, like except Grimmsnarl. Like that's pretty much it. Like the deck's like crazy good. I mean, like we have like almost like a list to go off of now. Like you can literally just take the Portland list and like change like Shaman and then like add like a third monkey or something if you want, or like whatever other card. I think it's in a really good space. I think people still aren't really like respecting it like crazy. Like last format, like maybe people should have been playing more Jamming Tower or something. But no, I think it's still in a good spot. I think it's very good.
Okay, fair enough. My issue with this deck personally is I feel like, and we'll get into this as well, I feel like Grimmsnarl is going to be very, very widely played. I think it's going to be huge, if not the biggest deck, one of the top 2. Just because of the access to the cards. I mean, the deck is everywhere on online tournaments. It's still winning despite all the hate everywhere. I expect the deck to be out in huge numbers, and with NAIC, like your margin for error is so thin, right? There's so many players, and you are inevitably going to hit a Grimmsnarl. I think in a day one. If you dodge a Grimmsnarl in 9 rounds day one, you're the best player alive. But I think eventually you're going to hit one, and having like your auto loss be the most popular, well, not auto loss, but you know what I'm saying, like a bad matchup be the most popular deck in the room, that distastes me a little bit, and I know it's distasting a lot of other Gardevoir players as well. The Gardevoir army is very faithful. They will be out in numbers. I guarantee it. But I do think the presence of Gardevoir is going to take a hit. Like I was kind of predicting, like maybe a couple weeks ago, I was predicting maybe like a 10 to 11% meta share. I would be surprised to see it go above 7 right now. Me personally,
really? I think
that might be a hot
I
take.
still think it's in like the 12% range.
You think so? Okay,
I
that's
think
fair.
people have like finally like enough. Like yeah, like people have had enough time to play with the deck now. Like they like Gardevoir. It's like, do they want to switch type of thing? I could like I don't think we'll see like 3 in top cut like we've been seeing like every single tournament, but I still think people will play it.
My reasoning for that partially is also that like Gardevoir is kind of like in this like new evolved state. So I feel like some of the Gardevoir like purists are kind of like hopping off it a little bit. At least from what I've have in my like personal circle, a lot of the guys who used to love Gardevoir with Curlia no longer feel the same affinity towards the deck just because of how much has changed and stuff. So I think it lost a little tiny bit of a following and then gained a crazy bad matchup. So that's kind of my rationale why I think it's going to go down. But maybe we can meet in the middle and say like 9 or 10%.
All right, we'll say 10 for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fair. I mean, maybe people get scared, but the deck is still very good. And like the thing I think will, at least how I feel, is like no matter what deck I pick, like on this like tier list, like it has a bad matchup, like or collectively its bad matchups are probably 10% plus of the meta.
Yes.
Like
It's gonna be it's gonna be crazy, like just dodge your bad matchups kind of tournament, right?
Yeah.
Tom praying.
Yeah. So all right, actually let's go Dragapult next thing. Let's talk about the 2 like best decks from like the last format. So there's 3 variants, and so I know you're a bigger Dragapult enjoyer than I am. So what are your thoughts on Dragapult? What's the best build? Are they all kind of similar tier?
It's tough. Like online, I think it's looked like Dragapult Charizard and Dragapult Dusknoir are a step above Straight Pult. I do think Straight Pult still has a place in the meta. I think your numbers are a little bit odd now, especially with Grimmsnarl around. Like you can't really afford to be such a slow build with not much like explosive power. I am quite upset to see Straight Pult kind of fall down, but to me, like I said last week, as much as it pains me, I do think Dragapult Dusknoir is the best one. I will fully admit I have not tried Dragapult Charizard. I played against a few. I've not tried it myself. It's not really my kind of deck. But I do think these are strong choices. My bold statement, I guess, will come right at the start of the episode this week, and I'll drop it right now. I think Gardevoir and Dragapult were the 2 best decks maybe a month ago. Like that's kind of what we thought was going to be play rate 1 and play rate 2. I think it's completely different now. I don't think these are going to be the top 2 decks anymore. I think it's going to be Raging Bolt, and I think it's going to be Grimmsnarl. And for that reason, I think Dragapult struggles a little bit into Grimmsnarl without Dusknoir, and it struggles a lot into Raging Bolt without like Neo Upper and Dusknoir, right? Or Sparkling Crystal or something. So I think the Dragapult Dusknoir build with one of those 2 ace specs is probably the best one. But I think it struggles into both of those decks, and for that reason, it's probably a low A, high B, at least for me.
My opinion is Dragapult Dusknoir is A, and then the other 2 are like B. Like, but Dragapult Charizard I'd say is probably like high B, and I put
I'm okay with that.
like low B, I think. Yeah, I think you need the Dusknoir to have like a manageable Grimmsnarl matchup. I think your matchup's like unfavored with the other 2 versions. Like I'm someone who plays Grimmsnarl a lot. I think like Straight Pult might be like my easiest matchup. Like it's almost impossible to lose that one in my opinion. Like the Charizard one you can lose if they get like a boss Charizard at the end. I mean, like a solo boss Charizard where you can't knock it out. The Dragapult Dusknoir you can lose if they get like they board wipe you. Yeah. Also, Dragapult Dusknoir is just better into Gardevoir, which is like still a deck. I think Dragapult Dusknoir, one of the bad things for it last format was that Straight Pult got so popular, which was like a bad matchup. But I think Straight Pult's gonna go down and play a lot in terms of like the split of like the Dragapult builds. So I think like it's kind of losing some of its bad matchup in that sense.
I find also you lose like so many points off of this deck. Like it's just this archetype as a whole, just because Raging Bolt is good and you have to respect the energy counts and play Crystal or Neo Upper, like for the most part. If you want to respect Bolt, I think you lose so much by not playing Stamp. And it absolutely kills me.
But I think I disagree. I think Dragapult Dusknoir is fine into Raging Bolt in my opinion. Like I don't have that
with
much
Stamp?
Yeah, with Stamp, I think it's not that hard to beat them.
It's definitely easier without it, is what I would say.
You think? I don't know. Like,
Well, like the Neo Upper and the Sparkling Crystal just allow you to keep up, right?
but I just find most of the times like Unfair Stamp, like Knockout, Double Hoot Hoot, like they somehow string together knockouts. Like I know to 1. It's like I don't know. I just find they have so much trouble like coming back from that.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I just find that the matchup is not where I want it to be without one of those two cards. And I feel like since, at least in my personal opinion, I do think Raging Bolt's going to be right up there in play rate. That's a scary negative matchup to take, in my opinion.
I don't know. I think I disagree with you on the Raging Bull matchup. I think it's like pretty close. Like,
I think it's slightly negative without
Alright.
without one of those two cards.
fair enough. Where would you put like the meta share then? Like, hey, collectively, what would you say Dragapult's meta share do you expect? And then what would you say is like the split?
This is a tough one. I'm not too sure what people think of Dragapult right now. I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on it myself, and I love Dragapult. I would probably put it like collectively. I don't know. Maybe it's like 12% fair, 13%.
Oh, I
Is
thought
that
it
too
was
high?
I was just saying like, cause like even like Portland, right? Like it was still at 21%, even with Guardy like going crazy. I still think it's closer to that number than it is to like 12.
I don't know. It's gonna be tough. I think Dragapult Charizard is gonna have a run for sure. I think that deck is gonna see a little bit of an uptick, and that might drag it up a little bit. Maybe we meet at 15.
Okay, and then how would you put the breakdown then?
I think Stray Pulse gonna be the lowest for sure.
That's what I think too. I think Dusknoir the highest, and then like Charizard in the middle of the two, and then like like straight the lowest.
753. I don't know.
753.
Was that out to 15?
Yeah, that's 15. Yeah, something like this maybe. I don't know. I feel like Poltnor has to be like higher, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe it's like 843. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what we think.
I think collectively Dragapult's still gonna be closer to 20%. So I'd probably just put up a couple percentage points on each, but I think
sure,
this is reasonable.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll put this one to 8. Sure.
I don't know. I've played it so much. I've just been underwhelmed, man. Like it just feels like everything got so much faster around it, and it feels like those turns that you used to be able to hide behind Badoo and just buy yourself some time to get into the game. It's just so much harder to get those turns to actually work now, just because of how fast everything is. Like there's TM Evos flying everywhere. There's like decks are fast. Raging Bolt's super fast. Joltic Box is super fast. Like it is tough to keep up with these decks.
Yeah. Okay, next one. We're gonna go with the Evolving Decks versus Grimmsnarl. I mean, I'm obviously biased. This is my favorite deck. It's one I'm probably gonna play next week. Like, I think it's A tier. I think you're favored into all the Evolving Decks. And I think it has a lot of tricks. Like, it's a Frostlass deck, so a lot of people are gonna have trouble playing against it. I don't know, I've been super impressed with the deck. I think it's really good. It has some consistency issues since you don't have an engine, but like so does Gardevoir. Like and Grimmsnarl, like similar to Gardevoir, can make like some pretty strong boards. So I think it's an A tier deck.
Yeah, I think it's the high A tier, me personally.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I played around against it a lot. I haven't played much with it. It's not really my kind of cup of tea, just with how big it's gotten. I kind of want to just play to counter it, sort of. But it's tough to counter, man. Like it's not easy. It's got a lot of tricks, right? And I think with Devo and with like Grimmsnarl and Frostlass being completely different engines in themselves, like you're able to cover a lot of your bad matchups. And I think like good players who do pick up this deck will do well with it. So I mean, I'm pretty high on it for the tournament. I do think it's a okay call for the tournament. If you're really practiced with it, I think it's a good call. If you're just picking it up for the first time, I don't like your odds, but for seasoned players, I think they'll definitely have a good time with this.
Yeah, I mean, I still think like the best players are gonna pick one of these 3 decks. Like, I'm including Dragapult, like all 3, but like most good players, I think are gonna be on like these decks. I think.
Don't discount Bolt, bro. Don't discount Bolt.
I'm not discounting it, but it's just like historically, just like a lot of the top players just don't play Bolt. Like when good players play it, like we see like them win regionals. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you said you think this is the most played deck. I think it's gonna be pretty played. I was gonna guess like 12%. I don't know what you think the percentage is.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that's a good guess. Also, shout out, there's 4 people who used code Ogremon for my Grimmsnarl class yesterday.
Yo, shout out y'all for real. I think my personal opinion with that is that Grimmsnarl and Raging Bolt will be the top 2 played. I guess that kind of discounts away from what I agreed with here with Dragapult.
Yeah.
But
I'm
I mean,
okay
with 12.
Dragapult is like collectively, I guess, as a deck instead of like if you say like the individual ones, there wouldn't be.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's also so difficult because you're trying to like discount these like all this recency bias that you see like in Limitless and around and stuff like going into the tournament. And this is always the challenge, right? Like the week before the tournament is the most imperative time to like see what people are playing, what's happening. And a lot of people I find right now are having crisis They're like, what the hell do I play to this tournament? So I think there's a lot of bouncing around right now. I'm not sure how accurate the metagame snapshots are right now. So I'd be interested to see how this actually pans out.
All right, next up, Raging Bolt Aneil. Is it A tier?
Absolutely.
Huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys know I'm not a big Raging Bolt lover. I don't love this deck at all. But I think this deck is really, really freaking good. The tools you gain with Noctowl, right? Just the consistency you get with Fan Rotom and the Noctowl engine and the new iterations that were found with like Crispin and all that stuff. Like I am terrified of a good Raging Bolt player right now, no matter what I play. I think they have it has one of the best matchup spreads around. You're doing good things, and the deck now, contrarily to what it was before, has a lot of skill expression actually. You can do quite a bit of cool things with Baby Bolt and stuff now. So I think Shaman coming out obviously nerfed it a little bit, but I still do think the deck is really, really good.
Yeah, I think Shaman maybe is like not going to be as played as we initially thought. Like I think a lot of Dragapults won't have it. I think Gardevoir and Grimmsnarl will have it in a majority of them, but other than that, I don't think a lot of the decks are going to play Shaman. So I think the Gardevoir matchup did get worse with this set. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But I think the Grimmsnarl matchup's like very close. Like maybe you can call it slightly Bolt favored. I think it's probably pretty 50-50. But yeah, I think the deck's good, like you said. Like it has so many options. Like I think it's actually one of the harder decks in the format now, which is kind of funny to say about Raging Bolt.
It is kind of crazy how it's turned, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so you said you think this is going to be one of the top 2 most played decks. So what percent are you expecting here?
Like a 13, 14.
Okay. I'll put 14. I mean, I could see it. Like, it's a deck that people have been playing for a long time. It's, like, actually really good now. Yeah, I can see it there for sure.
A lot of hype out of it. Like, obviously, it won a regional recently. Like, I just think in the hands of a good player, and here's the other thing that I'll factor into this. A lot of people are going for their invites, right? A lot of people want, like, safe, kind of aggressive picks that avoid ties, stuff like that. Like, these are things that you got to actually, like, factor into these things, I think. Like, that's at least what I'm trying to remind myself. Like, this is a big pinnacle tournament, but also it's a very important tournament for a lot of people. So I think safe picks that are consistent, they do what they're supposed to do, and they're aggressive and they get done fast, I think will be things that are favored by a lot of the population. So that's kind of what goes into my idea that this will be played a lot.
Yeah, that's fair. I think, is it going to be like top 1,024 points? Do they pay out that far?
Yeah, I think they do. I think we hit that at UIC too, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, we did?
I want to say something like that. Maybe it was pack prizing or something. I don't know.
Okay, champion points. Oh, bro, it even goes to top. Wait, no, we're gonna hit top with. Oh, no, yeah, top 1,024.
1,024. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, the kicker is 2,049. Oh, we're definitely hitting this. Yeah.
Nice and easy.
Bro, there's gonna be a lot of people.
40 points for that is pretty neat.
Yeah, that's like how much. What place do you need to get a regional to get 40? Top 128? Or no, you have to get 512.
No.
Top 26 maybe.
I think it's 256.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pretty good. It's
not bad, man.
Yeah. A lot. I mean, but to be fair though, if you're going for your invite, like, don't you already have like a 40-point finish as your worst one, probably?
I would assume so. Yeah, you probably have your 40s and your 50s and stuff.
Yeah.
And this would be nice for people to get like their ace trainer status.
That's true, actually. Yeah. You know, if someone, like, let's say I was knocked out of NAIC, if someone's like, oh, I need, like, the win when we're, like, X3 so they make World, I'd be like, no, we're playing. If someone's like, I need the points to get Ace Trainer, I'm like, all right, I'll scoop 2.
Yo, actually, though, I feel the same way. I feel the exact same way. I would scoop to either one of them because I don't care, but the Ace Trainer sounds important. Like, if a man says, yo, I need my Ace Trainer, you know, and in a sense, maybe it is more important because I don't mean to dog on anybody, but like players who are playing for Ace Trainer typically probably haven't been to Worlds, right? Yeah. So this probably means more to them than it would for someone who's been to Worlds already. I don't know. Like I'm just saying stuff. But I think it's important.
What if some guys like it's my first Worlds if I go?
Hey, I'm scooping either way. I already said I'm scooping either way. But yeah, like I do think the Ace Trainer thing is important, and it's a really nice milestone for like newer players and stuff to kind of be like, hey, I hit this status last year. Maybe I go for something bigger next year. Like I think they're all important, is what I'm trying to say.
Bro, I was thinking about this like earlier today because like I would always scoop to people and like, oh, I need points for my Worlds invite. But I'm like, this year, right? Like if I'm scooping to someone to like help them get points, I'm like, I'm also like hurting other people behind them in the race or in the race with them. Like, is it ethical to scoop? Like, am I really helping someone, or am I just denying someone else a Worlds invite that I don't even know?
That's deep.
Indirectly. So I'm like,
that cuts deep, actually.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Right?
And you also, now what I've learned is you have to fact check people who are like, yo, I need this for Worlds. I'm like, do you really need this for Worlds? Because like the idea of how many points you need for Worlds is different based off who you ask.
Yeah.
So there could be a man at like 790 points, be like, yo, bro, I really need this for Worlds. And you're sitting there, you're like, no, the hell you don't. Like, I don't know. I feel like you got to fact check people now.
Yeah, right? So, I mean, like, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's probably just like vibes. They seem cool for the guy, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care either.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just an interesting thought I had. I'm like, oh, like you're not really actually like you're helping someone at the expense of someone else. So like that, you're basically not really doing much, but it feels good in the moment, I guess.
It does feel good. Scooping gets me to Bourbon Street faster, and that's what matters.
True.
Yeah.
Aneil, are you gonna get a? Am I gonna get a party full invite for your bar crawl?
Dude, still today, I got 2 messages. Yo, bar crawl, bar crawl. Like I shouldn't have ever said that. Now there's like a huge expectation about this bar crawl. We're gonna start at the venue, and we're just gonna walk. We're gonna figure out where we go. There's no party full, nothing. It's an informal convention after the venue. I'm gonna wait for half an hour. We're gonna gather whoever we can gather, and we're gonna walk. We're gonna go.
Nice. Bro, live shift gear at Bourbon Street?
Pretty lit. Wear your shift gear bucket hats if you have them. I think that'd be hilarious.
That would be kind of
Actually, maybe we won't get into the bar then. Don't wear them. Don't wear them.
I don't think they'd care. I think they'd welcome us.
Fair enough.
Or you have to sell it being like, oh, we're like a huge podcast. Like,
yeah, I'm sure the New Orleans bouncers know all about us. Like, yo, bro, you haven't heard of us? Come on, man.
Bro, we'll get the people with like, you know who those guys are.
Dude, I'm gonna get the information of every New Orleans bouncer who doesn't let us in because we're wearing bucket hats and nominate them for the Griefer Award.
There you go.
We're gonna see their faces on YouTube.
Yes, I agree.
I'll get them back.
Nice. All right. I mean, hopping back to the tier list. All right. Next up, we have like Raging Bolt's counterpart almost, or the other aggro deck, Joltic Box. Which I mean, I will say I didn't think Joltic Box was like a very good deck last format. It does have a very good Grimmsnarl matchup. So it's like slightly better this format. I still think it's unfavored into Guardy if they know what they're doing. I still think it's unfavored into Dragapult if they know what they're doing. And I think Raging Bolt's a really bad matchup if you don't have a tech for it. So I think it's probably like B tier for me. I can't really put it A, especially because it's kind of hard to raise the ceiling of the deck. But I don't think it's like horrible by any means. I think it's actually in a better spot now than it was like a month ago.
Yeah, I think the Raging Bolt matchup is terrible. And for that reason, it scares me. The Gardevoir matchup's also not good, as long as the Gardevoir player is somewhat knowledgeable in the matchup. Yeah, high B sounds fair. I think that's a good place. I do think it like 1 or 2 will surprise us. And I guess it's not really surprising because we both said like there is potential on the deck. But like I do think someone is poised to make a run with this, but I'm not confident that everyone will who picks it up.
Like a bunch of people who play this are going to hit like 4 Grimmsnarls. It's like, all right, like that's 4 wins, most likely, as long as everything goes well. For sure. I think it's also a better like deck for like less experienced people because it's just like, all right, like it's if you're like just this is your one tournament for the year, like you need your ace trainer points or whatever, like this is probably like one of the decks to pick.
I feel like those people are gonna default to Grimmsnarl a lot too.
But I feel like Grimmsnarl is like a hard deck though. Like out of the ones on the list so far, it's one of the harder ones. So it's like
I think the skill ceiling is high, but I think to pilot it at a base level is not super difficult.
It's kind of like Charizard, I guess, in that sense. Like, yeah.
Like I think people will pick it up and do fine, to be honest.
All right. So what's your meta prediction for like meta share for Joltic Box? 6?
7? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. All right. I'll say 6. Okay. Next up, we have Gholdengo, which I feel like was really popular at the start of the Journey Together format, and I think by the end it like really fell off. Which I think it was like underplayed by the end. I think I've said this in the poll before, but I'm like, because you can just play Jamming Tower and beat Gardevoir, in my opinion. It was one of the few decks where I actually thought it had a good Gardevoir matchup. So what are your thoughts on this deck heading into NAIC?
What does this lose to? Those are my thoughts. my thoughts are, what does this lose to? This is here's the thing. So I was roasting a couple of my boys for playing Gholdengo like a few weeks ago. And then I saw some top players kind of pick this up and go for a run with it. In my testing and when I test against it, it does really feel like it has a lot of the bases covered. The Raging Bolt matchup is terrifying. Whatever, we can live with that. But into the rest of the things up here, like I don't mind its matchup anywhere. I think it's actually a pretty solid play. I would expect to see a few. I know a lot of the top guys have been kind of like toying around with this, and this is definitely one of those decks that you maybe forget about a little bit, and then suddenly it's all over the top tables. So this is the deck I think with like the highest ceiling, so to speak, in the sense where like we might be this is the dark horse of the tournament, I think. So we got to respect it.
I'll say a couple things that I think are actually good for it. So I think part of the reason it struggled for a while last format was Straight Pult played Genesect. And that became the most popular Dragapult build. But I mean, like Straight Pult, like we said, is probably going down in play. And I don't predict like Dusknoir or Charizard versions are going to play Genesect. I saw a lot of Joltic Box started playing Genesect, but I mean, like, that's more of a Bolt tech, but I mean, they probably might play that. So I mean, the Joltic Box matchup is probably a little annoying if they play that. I agree with you. I think Raging Bolt's probably the one you don't want to hit. I don't think it's, like, really that bad of a matchup. But otherwise, yeah, I think it's fine into the other decks. Like, I don't think it overwhelmingly crushes anything, but I think it's, like, slightly favored into a lot of the evolving decks for sure.
I would not be surprised to see this deck in a lot of top players' hands. I think it's a solid pick. Me personally, I would argue for this in A, but I'm open to objections.
Let's put an A. Why not?
Okay.
Well, like I'm gonna guess like 7-8%, maybe 7.
Yeah, low play rate, high conversion is kind of my guess with this one.
Now we can recalibrate at the end.
I'm fully okay with admitting I was wrong about this deck. I was wrong 3 weeks ago about what Gholdengo was. It has surprised me mightily. I
guess the other question is like, is Dragapult like still the way to play it? Like, is it a straight Dengo that needs to be played? Do you like bring back the Dunsparce? I don't know. I feel like everyone just like defaulted that like, oh, like Pengo is the way to play it. Like I feel like there's been like no experimentation since then. But we'll just say that's the default version right now.
We let the people who play Gholdengo handle that one. I don't.
I mean, I play a lot of Gholdengo because I actually enjoy the deck, and like a lot of my students play the deck. And I mean, the Pengos felt like pretty good, but I personally also like playing just straight Dengo. I think that's also very strong, especially I think when like really the only stamp deck left is like Dragapult. Gardevoir plays box, Grimmsnarl's a box deck. So I don't know.
Deck's legit, bro. It's legit.
Cool. All right, next up we have Flareon. I think on paper Flareon has, or I should just call it Eevee Box, has like really good matchups. I think the thing with Eevee Box is just the deck's a bit inconsistent, and I think like the skill floor is very high. Like the deck is very difficult to pilot correctly, just because you're playing so many one-ofs. Like you have convoluted evolution methods. You're like your Crispin deck. You have to like decide when to use your Crystal. So Neil, I know you've played a lot of this deck, so I'll let you kind of maybe take the reins on where your head's at in terms of this deck.
Sure. Yeah, I've been playing this for almost a month now. I keep playing it over and over. And what I find so fun about this deck is like you said, the skills floor is so high. I've had days where I've gone 6-0 with this deck. In tournaments, I've had days where I've gone like 3-3 because I made tiny little mistakes that caught up to me later. I think this deck is strong. It's really good. But you have to be very, very good to play it. Which I think is a huge barrier for the deck. And maybe one of the reasons why I might end up not playing it is if I don't feel up to it, like I know I have to be on the tip top of my game to have a chance of doing well with this. So I like that challenge personally. Like I'm not in this for my invite, so I might just play it just because of that. Just because I like the challenge. I want to see how well I can do with it. But it is very, very difficult. And I think for that reason, it's going to scare a lot of people off. I think it's going to have a pretty low play rate. And there's no reason to really account for this in your meta predictions. I think it's one of those things where if you hit it, you hit it. That is what it is. You just got to hope your opponent doesn't play well or bricks. So I think the deck is very strong. Do I think it's going to be out in big numbers? Probably not. But it is very fun, and it is one of those decks that I wouldn't be surprised to see like Tord playing or something like that.
I think Tord's going to probably play like a Dragapult deck, just because that's his style. But yeah, I agree. I think one interesting thing is I think towards the end of the meta, like here's like Flareon did jump to 7%, and we saw like it getting some top cuts. Like Owen Dalgar got back to back. Someone else got a top cut.
Ian Robb did too.
Ian Robb got a top cut. Yeah, like Taylor got a top cut. There's another one here in ASIM. The deck was picking up steam like when good players were playing it. So I agree with you. I think the play rate will be very low, but I think the deck is actually quite good. Like I'd actually even argue it's like an A tier deck.
No? I don't think I agree with that one. I think it's like a high B.
All right, we'll put a high B. Okay.
You struggle a lot. The problem is you struggle into Gardevoir a little bit. If you can't like constantly spam Angelite, and like even Dragapult can be dodgy sometimes. And you're also at the victim of your own prize cards. Like eventually you're just gonna prize something bad, and you're just gonna lose because of it. And your entire win con to Grimmsnarl is, please, I hope I don't prize Leafeon. so I don't know, just for that reason.
But yeah, I get what you mean. When I play the deck too, like a lot of games I'll play, I'm like, oh my god, the crystals and the prizes, like this game is
you just lose, bro.
Yeah, like so hard.
I put it like a high B.
Okay. And what would you put the meta share? Like a 6%? Last season?
I was gonna say like 4, bro.
Oh,
like 3 or 4.
Alright, we'll go in the middle. We'll go 5.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, next up, Ethan's Typhlosion. I don't know. For this tournament, I think I might have my first entry into C tier on this list.
Me too.
I just don't think the deck is ready yet. I think it needs a little bit more. I've tried it a little bit because I like this style of deck. It's just it takes too long to get going, and then by the time you get going, like you don't even hit the right numbers without like help, or like you have to play max belt as your ace spec or something.
Yeah, I played with it a bit too. It's fairly linear, right? There's not a whole lot you're doing with it, and I think I do think the deck will be good eventually. I just don't know if now is that time.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it's probably like a 2% deck because people like play it or something.
Someone will play this.
Yeah. All right, next up we have Charizard Pidgeot, so not the Dragapult version. So this was doing like really well in Japan. I guess partially because people just don't play stuff like Pult there. Grimmsnarl wasn't that popular yet, I think. That's part of the other reason. I don't think it's very good, in my opinion. I think it's bad against Grimmsnarl. I think it's bad against Dragapult. I don't know. I'm just not crazy high on Charizard Pidgeot. Are you high on this?
I'm going to put a little bit of respect on this thing's name. I'm not high on it, but I think it's like... I would struggle to put it in C tier with a conscious mind, me personally. I've seen what this deck can do. I think with Dusknoir like as well, you open up so many lines, and I feel like in the right hands it might be all right. I guess on the contrary, and kind of disagreeing with what I just said 5 seconds ago, there is Dragapult Charizard as well.
Yeah.
and I think a lot of people might be playing that instead, actually, now that I think about it. All right, C tier it is. I've talked myself out of it.
Yeah, I mean, when I just like look at this list, I'm like, are we really saying that like Charizard's in the same tier as like these decks? I'm like, probably not.
My thing is like, who is really playing this? Like, that's the thing, right? Like if you want to play Charizard, yeah, if you're a hardcore Charizard guy, you're probably playing Pulsar.
I feel like hardcore Charizard people play this one, and maybe like some Dragapult players like migrate to Charizard, or like Jackson Ford's disciples.
I don't know, man. Jackson Ford has a following. Whatever he says, he'll do.
All right, I'll put 2% for Charizard. That's normally my default for these type of decks.
Yep.
All right, the next deck we added to the tier list, Aneil, because you told me you have lots of thoughts on it. So give me your thoughts on Yanmega.
The Yanmega hands deck was pretty fun. I was running around toying with that a little bit. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to find it pretty easily. Yanmega's cool, man. I remember I said this a few weeks back as a meme. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play Yanmega. I actually did play like a little bit of Yanmega. Do I think it's ready? Probably not. Yeah, here you go. This is one version of it. There's been so many versions. I'm not sure if it's ready yet. I don't think it's ready. I don't think a lot of people play this, and it's definitely not something that you need to really account for seeing. But the card is definitely stronger than I thought it was. The EX itself, it feels really strong. 210's not a bad number, especially if you're playing a lot of Gus. Like this one's playing 4 boss. You're just picking off like low HP basics on the bench the whole game. So it's not terrible. And you're also pretty tanky. You're hitting 280 and you're moving your energy around. So you're not attacking with the same dude twice, which is also pretty good because you're forcing your opponent to use boss. So I do think eventually this will have a place in the metagame. I'm not sure that time is right now, though.
Yeah, I mean, like in theory, it beats Grimmsnarl because you're a grass type Pokemon and you have a lot of health to take the hits. Did you beat Dragapult? What's the strategy against that? Like what you're just
I think it's probably a little dodgy, but it's also tough for Dragapult to kill you, right? You kind of just hit awkward numbers on each other. Yeah, you're hitting 210, they're hitting 200. Like, what's going on here?
Did you beat Raging Bolt? Like in my head, this seems like this would really struggle with Raging Bolt. I guess you have to go Gus.
You can go through. Yeah, you can go Gus. I don't think you have to go Gus though necessarily, because if you play, like, you can also kind of control your board state a little bit.
Yeah, I guess you just single prize board open and.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then you don't have to necessarily. You also have Iron Hands, which can catch up pretty fast. You hit 210 on a hand or on a bolt and then go for 3 and then, I don't know, catch up some other way. It's possible. It's not great. It's possible.
Maybe. I don't think there's enough data on them, so I'm curious if I click it what they're going to say the matchups are like.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either.
Alright, beating Grimmsnarl. I'm not surprised. Okay, bad Gardevoir apparently. Oh, they say it's been beating Bolt. My sample size of 33 games. Okay, bad against Dragapult. Sample size 22 games. Oh, it crushes Ho. I'm convinced.
Damn, bro.
Alright, I mean, this is probably a cool deck. Do you think this has legs, Aneil? Like, do you think this is a viable play?
Right now, I wouldn't say it's not viable. I feel like that'd be harsh. I'm not sure it has legs, though. I think it's probably like a C tier. It's probably like Ethan's Typhlosion tier, in my opinion.
It seems better to me than Ethan's Typhlosion, but I also don't think it's B tier. I haven't played it with this deck, so I can't really like give an informed opinion. But all right, we'll put it here, like 1%.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be more than Ethan's Typhlosion. I'd probably put it like 3%.
You think 3% people are gonna play Yanmega? It's only 1% online, which I feel like is.
I don't know. I saw a lot of it at League the other day. I don't know what that means.
Alright, we'll
but...
put 2%.
It's a cool like beat stick deck. I don't know. I'm sure somebody likes Yanmega. I like Yanmega. Yeah.
Yanmega's a cool Pokemon. Okay, of the Gen 4 like evolutions of the old Pokemon, like where would you rank Yanmega?
It's up there next to Togekiss, I think.
Okay. Right.
Oh, also Gallade was that gen, wasn't it?
What are the
list of cross-generational evolutionary lines? It sounds like a DNA test, bro.
Little side quest of the shift gear. Let me find it better.
This is a crazy side quest right now.
Actually, I think if I go on the Pokédex, they'll be like all in the same one.
Yeah, you can just go on Cerebi and then scroll down on the drop bar.
Yeah. This is a very important Aneil for our listeners.
I concur.
It's more for me. I think I'm kind of curious. Bro, where do I find the Cerebi Pokédex?
Just go to Gen 4 Pokédex on the side there.
You see it? There's Attack Dex.
Is it there? Oh, it's Attack Dex. It should be any of them. If you just click any of the Pokédexes.
Gen 4?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I can't read any of those things because your screen's small on my thing.
Wait, one second. Yeah. Cerebi Pokédex. Okay, here, wait.
There we go. So just go to no, go back. Top. There you go.
Oh,
drop down bar. Top right.
Oh, but I have to like click on. I want to have pictures. What is that?
You're so needy.
Oh wait, we on Pokemon.com. They just have the Pokédex. I have to load one Pokemon. This is so.
I'm sorry for everybody who's getting their time wasted right now.
Okay, here we go. I found it.
Holy bro! All right. All this. All right.
Do they list them? Yeah, here we go. We have them at the end here, right? Okay. We have Gliscor, Probopass, there's Gallade, Licky. Yeah, there's Togekiss, Magnezone.
Bro, Altaria is not even in Gen 4. What is it? This thing is tweaking.
This is the Platinum Pokédex. Okay, Rhyperior.
Oh, okay.
Angrowth, Mamoswine. Bro, there's so many. Electivire, Magmortar, Frostlass.
They really went crazy this gen.
Yeah. Okay, who's the best one from this gen?
For me, it's Togekiss. I don't even think it's close.
Really?
But I love Togekiss, man. Such a cool Pokemon.
Cool Pokemon. I don't know if I put number 1.
What do you put in 1 then?
No. I like Dusknoir a lot. I like Magnezone a lot. I like Weavile. Weavile's a cool one.
I feel like we're influenced on Dusknoir just because of Mystery Dungeon. I feel like that's kind of
that is kind of hype.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a side quest feeling. I don't know. Yanmega actually might be up there.
Yeah,
Yanmega might be peak.
Cool.
Yeah. And Yanma's cool.
It's kind of crazy when I look at some of these. I'm like, bro, why was Yanma a Pokemon? Like, why was this just like a basic? They just give it evolution when they made it. Like.
Yeah, like this needed an evolution. Yeah. Like some of them, when you look at them, they're like, this thing cannot fend for itself. And what do you think about it? Like deep down, Pokemon's actually really messed up. Like you're like training animals to fight each other. It's actually kind of crazy. It's like Michael Vick, bro. It's like dog fighting.
Bro, but they want to. It's consensual.
Are you sure? I'm not sure that's how it works.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got to talk to a Pokemon or something.
I mean, Frostlass is pretty cool because like now that I play the card, I'm like, oh, I like Frostlass.
Speaking of which, and speaking of the game, sorry, I don't mean to distract this more. Switch 2 Scarlet and Violet. Holy, it's a new game. It's literally a brand new game. My Switch 2 came in on Friday, and I was like gaming a little bit. I wasn't really impressed with Mario Kart. I was like, okay, whatever, this is just Mario, right? But yo, Scarlet and Violet, they are functional, they are operational. There is a frame rate greater than what you need to play the game. It's like I spawned in, I was like, yo, I feel like I'm playing this for the first time.
It's kind of sad though that like a lot of the Switch games are like, oh, it's like so good to play them on the Switch too. I'm like, bro, like, what does that say about the Switch?
It's proof that like Nintendo could put out complete garbage and still buy.
Yeah. Are there games like new games for the Switch 2 besides Mario Kart, or is that the only game?
There's like a Donkey Kong game coming out too.
Yeah, but it's not out yet, right?
No, but to my knowledge, I believe it's just the Mario Kart right now. And like that free roam thing was such a scam, bro. Like they're like, yo, there's like open world Mario Kart. It's literally just like practice mode.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
So like you drive like there's all the circuits, right? And then they connect in this like giant like interconnected map, and you can like basically just drive around them freely and do like these missions that reward you with nothing. And there's just like no progression in the game. I sound like such a hater. I'm fully aware I sound like such a hater. But I was disappointed that there was no open world real like missions.
Bro, when they're charging $110 for a game, like that's fair to criticize it, bro. I looked the other day because I was curious. I'm like, bro, $110 for a game? Like that's like
it's
plus
nuts.
Tax. Oof.
At least they gave us the Zelda upgrades, like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. The upgrades are only $10.
But they should be free, man.
I don't know. They put in like a lot of dev work. I'm okay with paying $10 for that. I'm okay with that.
I guess. I don't know. The Switch 2 so far, like I'm like, I don't know. Like it seems kind of like scammy. Like it's like basically just make your Switch games better, and then here play like Mario Kart.
Yeah, the only reason I bought it is because like, when have you ever seen a Switch go on sale? They never go on sale for more than $50. I'm like, okay.
On sale, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, if I'm gonna buy it eventually, I'm gonna buy it on day one. Just like Aura Farm that I have one. That's all it is, man. I'm just Aura farming right now, and it's not even a good Aura Farm. People are just like roasting, like, yo, you spent $800 on that garbage? Hell yeah.
Bro, did you see the whole discourse of that one person who like posted their Switch too, like with the pizza, and they're like, this is like
yo, I seen that.
Economic, like breakdown, like the like wealth and they made like a discussion about wealth inequality, which I'm like, it's probably like the biggest issue like in society. But I'm like, bro, this person is excited to buy a Switch too and like eat some pizza.
Bro, I posted a story on my Instagram of like me with like a craft dinner box, and I was like, this is all I'm able to eat for the next month. Like that and like ice soup until further notice, man. I remember, it was like super. I remember someone posted like something with like ice soup, and they're like, never KYS. There's that in the Switch. I was dying, bro. I was dying. The memes are unreal. Because like, bro, why is it cost as much as a PS5? Like, come on, bro. That's just not right.
I don't know. I mean, I'll probably buy one eventually. Like, I've owned every single Nintendo console since I was like a kid. The last time I had a PlayStation or Xbox, I've never owned an Xbox. The last time I had a PlayStation was the PlayStation 3. Ever since then, it's all Nintendo. Yeah,
I was an Xbox guy that I went to PS4, PS5, and all Nintendo and all that. It's Nintendo's one of those things, man. Like they never really get old, and they're great party systems. So like, I feel like I always have to have one just for entertainment value.
Yeah, agreed. PlayStation 2 was my first console. Then I had the Game Boy, the DS, and like I've had every Nintendo console since then.
There you go.
We gotta have it. All right.
When GTA 5 comes out, I'm quitting the Shift Gear podcast. Anyways, carry on. Yeah, or sorry, GTA 6, yeah.
Bro's gonna be sick on me that week.
Bro, I'm gonna be sick on you for the whole like year, man. I'm gonna be playing that game till it dies. Which, how long we've been waiting for that game? Holy man.
Nice. Alright, we might have to put a timestamp for us to get back on our side quest. To get back to the tier list. But anyways,
yeah, that was a generational
I mean, we're basically
we've
gone through like all the like decks that people care about. So like, you know, I felt fine about doing that. We haven't gone on some. I feel like our episodes have been very serious the past few weeks. You know, like not as enough.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I haven't even talked about like Tyrese Halliburton yet. And we're like,
we'll do that at the end of the episode. Let's do that at the end.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, next up we have Rockets, Mewtwo, and Neil. What are your thoughts on Rockets? I don't think this deck is good. I tried it a bit.
No. I wanted this to be good really badly, and I tried it. It's probably a C tier deck. I don't know, man. This set as a whole, like, I at first I wasn't like super sold on it, but ever since like I started opening some packs, I'm like, this set is lit. Like the decks aren't very good aside from Grimmsnarl, but the set and like the Pokemon and like just the lore behind all the cards is super cool. And like Rockets Mewtwo is one of those ones where I was like, I really hope this works because the Rockets engine is really cool, and it's one of those things that like could go down in history just like the SP engine did. Like when you look back on this in 10 years. Unfortunately, it's just not that good, and it feels like it's been a while since Pokemon said like, "Hey, we're introducing a new S tier deck in a set." It feels like it's been since like Silver Tempest since we had that. Someone's gonna fact check me, and I know I'll be wrong, but
what sets? I can't remember. Well, there's been a lot of sets since then, so I'm sure there was one, but yeah,
like Twilight Masquerade maybe,
but there wasn't any S tier in that set. Like Gardevoir was probably the best deck, but that wasn't from that set. Like Monkey came out, which you got, it, but.
No, Raging Bull was in Paradox Rift, wasn't it?
Yeah,
never mind. I was gonna say
Pokemon came out in that set.
Yeah, it didn't really do much. Yeah, so it's like it feels like it's like this kind of like drip effect, and like the way it's been going recently, I don't have high hopes that they'll print more Rockets cards to supplement this, which kind of makes me sad in a sense. Like this is like these owners' Pokemon should not be as bad as they are. They should not be. Like there should be a deck that is at the top that says this person's Pokemon, not Marnie's Grimmsnarl with Frostlass and with Monkey Dory. It should be this entire engine, including Marnie's Pico and Marnie's Liepard, are good. That's what this should be. And I feel like they're losing so many. Not that they need it. The game is as big as it's ever been, right? But they're losing so many points by not making these like owners' Pokemon, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm sure people disagree with that, but I think they would be so cool if I could run around with a card like this Team Rockets Moltres. It's like the sickest looking card I've ever seen in my life, and have this actually be good. So, I digress. Rant over.
Nice. I mean, yeah, it is kind of crazy that the whole set is like all Rockets cards. It's not that good because like the trainer engine
and it sucks.
Is insane. It just the attacker just isn't good enough, or the Pokemon aren't good enough. I still think like this will be like a 4 to 5% deck, just because I think a lot of like casual players will play this. Just that always happens when new decks come out. Like I would guess like 4% maybe. Like
I would not be shocked if someone does okay with this. Like the Spidops Rush thing is not terrible.
like okay, yeah.
The Mewtwo just feels like the Mewtwo is very one dimensional, right? It's very like bricky. Like you're just gonna hit with this thing and just pray good things happen after that. So nothing super crazy, but the power level might be high enough to squeak in a few wins here or there. So I wouldn't be surprised if someone broke it somehow, some way.
Fair enough. All right, the other owner's deck left on the list, we have Cynthia's Garchomp. I don't know, what do you think about this deck, Neil? It feels like to me it's like close to being a good enough deck, but I feel like it's just not there yet. Like in terms of consistency and like pulling off, like getting the energies and like being resilient enough to Iono. Like
that's the problem. It's like it feels like it's right there. It's just not there. It's giving Garchomp Altaria vibes, really, like top to bottom.
Without
or Dragon's Exalted, Garchomp Altaria. It's just screaming it. The deck is very obviously one dimensional in that sense. Like you do have the Spiritomb as an alternative attacker, but you're a big brick hitting kind of Garchomp. And if the second attack was a little bit less detrimental on your board, I feel like the deck would be pretty good. The fact that the first attack is only 100 and draw to 6, and the second attack is just clear your board of energies, like that feels terrible. And then the power weight, like it just contradicts with the card you need in Power Glass to keep the attacker going. So, like you said, it's so close, but it also feels like it's so far. I think people are going to play it because it's cool. And NAIC obviously is like the biggest collection of players. Like it's a large array of people. And I think just as such, you will have people who play this. And at one point I wanted to play it, but then I picked up the deck and started trying it. And then I said, I'm not playing this. So maybe like a solid 2%. I don't know. Maybe that's a little high.
Makes sense. Okay, what about Roaring Moon? So this is like the last SPE. And like no one was rating this deck before that. Like now, is there maybe like a little bump? It's on people's radars. People pick it up, or do you think it's still just like okay, it won an SP, whatever? Like,
yeah.
From there.
I think so. I was almost going to argue putting this in B. I think the poison package in the deck is really strong. Like that's the part of the deck that really sells me. The poison package is going to win you some games through donks, and we're a big advocate of just stealing games here on the Shift Gear podcast, as we always are. Stealing games with poison is good. A lot of people are going to start one basic. This is the best position for Roaring Moon and like the poison package to be in, where people are not kind of respecting that whole like put down 2 basics thing all the time, because it's not as big of a deck as you'd think. And me personally, if I sit down in NAIC and I have 2 basics in my hand and one of them is kind of jank, I am not playing the second one down to start my game, right? If I'm going second.
Agreed.
And I think a lot of people are like that. And you're going to win some games off that. And Gardevoir is weak to you. And you can probably beat a lot of the other decks. What I have found from playing against it is it is a little bit more awkward now without Dark Patch and stuff. It is a little bit tougher to kind of stream moons. But the poison package might make up for it. I wouldn't be surprised to see this do decently well.
Okay, is it like a 3% deck, you think? Just because more people are maybe picking it up?
Yeah, 3% with a high ceiling. I like it.
Sure. All right, where do you think Terabox... Actually, I didn't put Zoroark on this list either, but where do you think Terabox is there? Is this deck just like dead because of Shaman? Is it still fine and people are just like preemptively writing it off? Where do you think it kind of sits in the meta?
Might be the hardest one to predict. It's really tough, isn't it?
Because like it was already falling off like last format. It had a little bit of an uptick at the end, but it's like it was already kind of like hanging on last format. Now there's like a new card that like makes your like Guardian matchup like almost unwinnable. Like Grimmsnarl plays Shaman, so like that matchup's hard. I don't know.
Pikachu's really good.
Yeah,
not a lot of decks have an answer to Pikachu. I don't think right now. I mean, I guess the top.
the top 3 we have an A tier.
I guess they do. I guess they do.
Actually, and Bolt does too.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah,
maybe it's not that good. I don't know. This one's tough. I have no insight on this. I haven't tried it. I'm not planning on trying it. Shaman is tough. This deck is still strong, but like you're just not as good if you don't have Water Ogremon to run people off boards, right?
Yeah, I think it was like B tier last format. I think I have to drop to C this format just because.
Yeah.
People might try playing that deck that Tord played that one Champions League where it was like the Dusknoir Pidgeot Terabox, but I think it's probably maybe like drops all the way down to like that 2% tier now.
I'm always like hesitant to give opinions on things I don't know fully, especially when I say they're complete garbage. And this falls under that umbrella. Like I don't know about this deck, and I don't want to say it's bad because it might not be. And I think like anyone who says they know about this is probably lying. So I don't know. Like maybe Rahul and the gang pull up with this again. I don't know. Maybe they're cooking something up.
I mean, I doubt it, but maybe.
Me too. I also doubt it, but I doubted it the first time.
All right, the last one we have is Archaludon Aneil. I was put on to this Archaludon Rocket Bomb deck, but I haven't played it, so I can't really give an informed opinion. Have you played it? Like, what are your thoughts on this?
I've not played it. I've seen it been played. I think it's okay. Archaludon hits for weird numbers right now. Everything's evolving, right? Like,
Yeah.
your 220 is not what it used to be. You're not one-shotting freaking everything. I think the bomb is really cool, though, and you're able to do some things with Turo that are really strong. I think Turo itself is a very strong card right now, right?
I agree.
And scoop up Cyclone. And for that reason, I think this deck has legs. What kind of legs? Couldn't tell you. Maybe high C. Like, that's kind of where I would default this, just off the top of my head, just from the fact that it's kind of a newer thing that nobody's really looked into too much. And I know it won a big Mickey last night, too.
Oh, did it?
It did. Maybe it was 2 nights ago. If you just search it by decks, you can probably just find it instantly.
Oh, yeah, true. This one, Jester's Weekly Casual?
Yeah, I think it was that one, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, here. I think this list I was looking at, too. Yeah, like 3 Bomb, Hero's Cape.
Play Monkey.
2
and
Carmine?
like...
Okay, come on. Like, oh, because they play 4 Research, too. Okay, that's a bit better. Okay, I was going to say, like, alright. Interesting.
I don't know what this deck does in the meta. Like, I don't know, but Turo's a good card. That's all I know. Hero's Cape is good.
Turo.
Yeah, play 1 Turo on a Palpad. Good enough.
I don't know, to consistently
Like
draw it. I feel like you want to lean into that. Like against Grimmsnarl or something, you probably want to be picking up a lot. Or I guess you have Relicanth, so maybe. Well, like,
I would concur. I'd probably play more than 1. I also probably wouldn't be playing Carmine, but I also didn't go 7-0 in the Mickey with this deck, so I trust whatever this guy did.
All right. Paco Alavanca from Austria is who you trust, Aneil.
Sick name.
Shout out Austria. Shout out Jakapurtle.
For real, show Jakapurtle, bro.
Austrian
He's gonna be the
gamer.
starting center on a championship team next year.
Bro, he'll be on a Shift Gear podcast one day.
Facts.
After we get Grant Williams.
Yeah, you got to work on that. We need that. We need that so bad, bro. You know what's hilarious? We'd get Grant Williams on here, and like 90% of the people who watch this be like, "Who the hell is Grant Williams?" the Google searches for Grant Williams would literally go through the roof. You're looking at that analytics, man.
Bro, shout out Grant Williams, man. And bro, actually, people might know he has a huge Like, I looked into his like TikTok and all that. He has a huge like Pokemon or like the sports cards like
really?
TikTok thing. Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
I think I saw him. I don't remember if he was playing for the Hornets at the time that I saw the Hornets game before Charlotte Regionals, but he might have been. I feel like
he's been there the past 2 years. So.
But didn't he get traded?
He was like on Dallas, and then he went in the offseason to Charlotte for I think 2 years. But we can check.
Dude, I thought he played for the Celtics at one point too.
He did. That's where he started. Yeah.
Oh, he started with the Celtics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's been in Charlotte like this season, the last season, and he's with Dallas for like the second half of 20. Or no, sorry, he was with Dallas and then got traded last year to Charlotte. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I've seen him play. I remember the one game I went to go watch in Charlotte. It was like, what's his face? Ball was out and Wembanyama was out, and I was literally just watching dusters against dusters. It was just miserable, bro. It was back when the Spurs were like nothing. They're still rebuilding.
Yeah.
Just misery, man.
Man, that must suck going from like the Celtics, who are like one of the best teams. You miss out on the championship, and then now you're playing for the Hornets.
You end up play for the Hornets.
But I mean,
I don't know.
You're still in the NBA.
Go ahead.
He has enough money to like buy like base set Pokemon packs. Bro's living a good life.
Yeah, bro. Miles Bridges is sitting there complaining every day in Charlotte, man. You know what? You're an NBA player. It's all good.
Bro, Miles Bridges is lucky he's even playing basketball.
I heard he was innocent though. I heard it like came out like definitively that he was innocent.
I don't think so.
I don't know, man. I'm not a lawyer. Is Tory Lanez innocent? I don't know.
I
don't know nothing, man.
Lock that guy up, bro. Shout out my girl.
You think Tory Lanez is not innocent? That's insane,
no,
bro.
Come on, bro.
That's a crazy take. We gotta talk about that later. That's a crazy take. Tory Lanez is definitely. I think he's definitely innocent, man. You got to go through all the files. That one shorty came out and said it was Mag. The other security guard came out and said it was Mag. I don't know. I think you're tweaking.
No.
I don't know.
All right. I mean, I think this is beyond the depths of the Shift Gear podcast.
Okay, we'll settle at this. I think they're both foul human beings in their own way.
Fair enough.
Yeah. You shouldn't be in a situation like that. Anyways, I digress.
All right, what's our meta prediction for Archaludon?
It needs to be 13% to round it out to 100.
Well, we
just drop it at 13.
Random, all right, 13%.
13% Archaludon.
We balanced the books.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Did you ever take accounting class in high school?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
This is a crazy audit right now.
when they don't match, you're like, oh my god, bro. Like, all right, this one number is just.
Bro, that's like me, like looking over, like in physics in university, where like the guy next to me, like his answer was like 14 kilometers an hour, and mine's like 15 milliseconds, and I'm like, bro, what is happening here? I'm like overhearing people talk about like decimal places, while mine is like in a different currency, and that's what you just gotta do. You just gotta balance it out. Just add numbers until everything makes sense. That's what we're doing here, the Shift Gear Podcast. 13% Archaludon. You heard it here first. If it's not 13%, bar crawl's still on. Don't worry. No disasters.
Nice.
No disasters.
Sweet. All right, well, this is where we ended up. I think it's like pretty good. I'm happy with this.
It's like it's mediocre.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's not that important.
No, it's really not. I do think the important takeaways, and like I'll be serious for 1 second. The important takeaways is that A tier is very much A tier, and everything else falls quite a bit behind it, in my opinion. I think it's very, very definitive that these 5 are the top 5, and everything else is whatever. Is that to say that everything else is a bad play? Absolutely not. I think there's a lot of good plays on this list, but I do think the A tier decks have a power level that is kind of reaching new heights right now. And I think if I were to be chasing my invite, I think I'm playing one of those 5.
Yeah, I'd say I'd maybe argue Flareon can maybe compete. That's the next one up, but I think I agree. Like I think there's these decks are like the best ones we put in A tier. At the end of the day,
I would argue Joltic is the next one up. Me personally,
yeah, maybe actually.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know. I'd probably say Flareon. I don't know. Flareon, Joltic, I'd say are the next 2.
Sounds like a good deck. Flareon, Joltic. Play them together.
But yeah, I think just honestly, like if you're picking a good deck and what matters most is that you play good Pokemon, that you just hit the matchups you need to hit. That's what it's going to come down to. Especially when the tournament's this large, like I feel like the talent pool is a bit more diluted. Like the best players, there'll be more best players because the people from around the world will come. But like the average player, like there's going to be a lot more casual players at this tournament.
Well, by the time you're watching this, hopefully nothing of what we're saying matters to you. Hopefully you have your deck locked in and none of this matters. I think the only way this should sway your opinion is what you should be testing against last second. Because by the time you're watching this, it is Wednesday and NAIC is in 2 days. So if you hadn't decided by the time this video comes out, please decide by the time this video is over, because otherwise you're in for a world of hurt. I think like there's a lot of people who are going to be watching this on their way to NAIC, hopefully. So I have high hopes that most of our listeners have their decks picked out by now, because it is very much one of those metagames where, like you said, at the end of the day, pick a deck, get good with it. You can only control what you're going to control. Play some good Pokemon. You're going to be all right.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
I agree.
Motivational speech.
Anything else, Neil? You want to talk about Tyrese Halliburton?
Yo, I mean, the Thunder just destroyed them just now, and Shea dropped 34, so like it's fine. But guys, right? Like we're recording this on Sunday, so if you're in the future, you know what happened in Game 3. We don't. So like I don't know. As of right now, 1-1. I'm liking. I think OKC probably runs away with this. I think that one game was kind of a hiccup, and I know they did this against the Knicks as well, and it completely changed the series. But I think OKC is a very, very good team. I think they're much better than the New York Knicks.
Yeah, it kind of feels like the AI versus like the Lakers, right? It's like get that game 1 big win like in overtime. He has like the step over Tron Lue, and then this is Tyrese Halliburton's like signature moment probably he'll have for his career. I hope Indiana wins, but I agree with you. I think Oklahoma's probably going to have more games like the one that happened tonight. But,
I don't know, man. I want OKC to win this, like just because Shea, man.
Bro,
like that's our Hamilton dog, bro.
Oklahoma doesn't like deserve a team. They stole it from Seattle. Like I'll never cheer for Oklahoma.
No, the franchise I don't like. I don't like the franchise. I just like our boy. He's the most humble superstar the league's maybe ever seen.
Bro, but he plays unethical basketball, though. Neil. Can we endorse that?
Bro, I don't care, man. I don't care. I don't care what he does. He is the future of Canada basketball. He's the future of basketball in this country. I'm a vibe with that guy till the day I can't.
Yes,
and
I'll be happy
Dort,
for him.
That's a dog.
I'll be happy for the Canadians. But bro, I'd be more happy for my boy Pascal, who's basically Canadian. So yeah.
That's true actually. All right, I like that. It's a win-win for us, I suppose, in a sense.
Yeah, but bro, that game 1 was like that was like an all-timer, bro. Like people are like complaining about like ratings and log on the bro. If you're not watching that game, like you're just missing like good hoops. Like
yeah, it's just good. It's good ball. Like I don't know. People are mad that it's like 2 like small markets or whatever.
Bro, why does that matter at all, bro? Like if you're not like a TV executive, like why do you care?
The only people who are complaining about this are people who don't watch baseball. That's the only people complaining about this. Because in baseball or soccer, either one, it's always the same teams, and it is so sickening. I'm like, bro, I don't care to watch the Dodgers anymore. I don't want to watch Barcelona in the finals. I don't want to watch PSG. Like, it makes me sick, man. I like these small markets, and we're from Toronto. We're from a big market. We should be all for this whole like, big market thing. I don't care, man. I don't care. Get whatever teams are the best, let them be the best. And I'm like such a big person like that kind of advocates for the salary cap. I think the salary cap is very, very important. And when you have the salary cap and stuff like I forget what they call it in basketball, it's like that second cape or
The
whatever.
second apron.
Second apron, yeah. That like rule that like basically makes these like teams relevant. I think that stuff is great. I don't know, man. I come from a soccer background and the same teams win every year, and I'm kind of sick.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think soccer has like the worst system where it's just like paid, like whoever pays the most gets. I mean, baseball kind of has that too, but like yeah.
Yeah. Financial fair play is crazy, man. Like
Yeah.
so financial fair play is like the system they put in soccer to like basically de-escalate these situations and like penalizes teams for overspending. And it literally never works. It is like the most like fraudulent system in the history of anything. Teams that want to buy people are gonna just buy people, and it's crazy. You just like buy human beings in soccer.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. That sounds crazy when you said it out loud.
Yeah, bro, you just straight up just buy mans and just run at the team with whoever you want. It's so stupid. I'm so over it, man.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I agree. The salary cap
ranting.
is good. I mean, I like that the NHL has like a hard cap. I actually like that about that league. I think it makes it more competitive. Like, you end up having people like Connor McDavid making less than like role players in the NBA, but
it's
you get
nuts.
more parity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the NHL is also a lot smaller.
Yeah. Exactly.
It
it's
always
just about money,
the market's always going to kind of be
Yeah.
smaller. But like that's the other thing. Like the NBA, like you have a salary cap, but you can also like pay into the luxury tax and stuff. And like there are ways that big markets can get around it. Where like versus like the LA Dodgers versus like the Oakland A's. Give me a break, man. It's not even close. It's not even fair.
Yeah.
You can't pay guys. You're never going to be able to compete.
Bro, I didn't watch the game, but I saw that one goal where like Connor McDavid like had the assist and he like deked out like 3 guys. I'm like, yeah, like this guy. I actually like Connor McDavid highlights, bro. I'm like, this guy is like
he is out of this world.
Yeah.
Like no hockey player should be able to do that in 2025. The game's too fast. The players are too skilled. He's just dangling dudes, man. They're on a swivel. No chance. And like him and Draisaitl, the 2 best players in the league on the same team, these guys have to win the cup this year. They absolutely have to win the cup for his legacy, for Canadian hockey. Like this is very, very important. I don't know, man. These first 2 games going to OT, it's kind of if you don't watch hockey, you won't get this, but those 2 teams at the top, they're head and shoulders above the next teams. Like I don't remember the last time where the 2 teams in the finals in any capacity, any league, were that much better than the next teams. And these 2 teams are absolute juggernauts. And so like just for that, it's making for some good hockey. So if you don't like puck, maybe now's the time to get into it because this is some good hockey.
Bro, but like, see what cheeses me about hockey is I see that beautiful goal, and then I watch the goal that like Florida scored to win. I'm like, bro, like the guy didn't even mean to shoot it; they just like went in the net. I'm like, bro.
Yeah. Hockey's jank like that.
That's
like
what I'm saying. It's so jank.
Kind of just a quantity game. Like, and that's just because like the players are so good. There's very fine margins. You just got to shoot on net and hope something good happens. It's kind of weird.
So, yeah. All right. Maybe I'll watch. I mean, I hope Edmonton wins. I think it'd be nice for a Canadian team to win.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would be cool. But yeah, other than that, Neil, I don't have anything pressing to discuss.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, well, Aneil and I will both be at NAIC, so come say hi if you see us. Wear your Shift Gear bucket hats. There may be a Shift Gear bar crawl with the bucket hats.
A lot of pressure right now.
What else? Oh, I'm probably gonna do the 2010 tournament if I'm not winning or in finals.
What day is that?
On Sunday. So for a lot of my 2010 decks though, I have like French cards or like Japanese cards. So I hope they're not like super strict. I mean, they better not be. Like it's a side event. But like
you'll probably be fine. Send me the list of what you need in case I'll give you some because I'm flying out Sunday afternoon.
Can you imagine if I sit down and my opponent calls a judge? It's like, bro, this guy's playing like a French like Pokemon collector. I'm like,
oh man, I have German Pokemon collectors. Like you take what you can get, man. Like mine are called Pokemon Samler. They're German. It's great.
Like it.
Yeah, I have a German Yuxi. Like with these old decks, you take what you can get, man.
Exactly,
they're half the price. Like we're just playing for, we're playing for fun. So who cares? But yeah, if you see us, come up, say hi, say wagwan. That's what most people say, anyways, which is hilarious. I can't believe that has turned into a thing. But yeah, we'll be there. Say hi. Good luck at NAIC for all you chasing your invites. I wish you nothing but the best. I guess ethically we have to wish everybody nothing but the best because we can't vote for one person over the other, as we discussed. It's a top 125 system. We can't have everyone winning. But yeah, you try and clear your head if you're going for your invite. Like, remember, at the end of the day, it's just Pokemon. Just a card game. Just have fun with it. Don't get too crazy. Don't get too desperate. Let the cards fall into your lap. It's the best advice I can give.
Great.
Other than that, stay safe in New Orleans. We will be in touch, and we'll be back with a recap video next Wednesday. Everyone have fun. Meet me after day 1 for the Shift Gear Bar Crawl. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic day and have a fantastic week. Good luck at NAIC. Peace.
Later.